Hello, welcome back to Saad's Football Corner. Welcome back to another live stream, another show, another video on the channel. Big ups to everybody that is tuned in nice and early. Big ups to everybody that is watching on the replay. Make sure you are smashing the like button. Make sure you are subscribing to the channel and hitting that bell notification so you're notified every time we go live. We are here for the weekly show. There was not one last week because I was moving house, but we are well moved in now, and we are here again for another episode of Saad and Ash. Obviously the show that everybody wants to hear, the show everybody wants to watch. Us butting heads every single time. There's always seems to be at least one or two arguments. Always seems to be at least one or two arguments in these shows. So we'll see what happens today. But yeah, Ash, how you doing? How's it going, mate?
I'm doing good, my man. Premier League starts in 10 days, I think, for us. So nice, excited. I'm good. It has been, man, 2 weeks. It's a long time. Honestly, we need to. It just
A lot
feels
of
like
stuff
those
to
2 weeks do
discuss.
feel a lot. Yeah, lots to discuss. But yeah, man, let's get right to it.
100%. Listen, big up to everybody that is tuned in. Big up to Aaron who's sending everybody hit the like button. Make sure to do that, people. Big up to Sareda as well. Big up to the lovely Sareda. Big up to Denzel as well. Big up to Ash and big up to Nathan in the building. Big up, guys. Make sure you are smashing the like button and subscribing to the channel. Ash, let's start off. Let's get into the first topic, which should take up a large chunk. Let's speak about yesterday's. Actually, should we start with the breaking news? What would you prefer? Do you want to start with the breaking news?
Yeah, we can start with the breaking news.
There's
Yeah, why not?
Nketiah news. There's Osimhen news. There's Merino news. Let's start off with the one that puts a smile on all our faces. Let's start off with the Nketiah news. So, breaking news from Fabrice Hawkins, I believe, stating, let me just get the bookmarks up because I have had it bookmarked here. From Fabrice Hawkins, stating that Olympic Marseille. Oh, what's going on here?
Pick up Dio.
I flopped it. Oh, there we go. Yes, negotiations are suspended between Lens and Marseille regarding Eli Wahi after a second offer was rejected. Marseille are now looking to sign Eddie Nketiah, who Arsenal have reopened their doors to. Arsenal are seeking around 25 million euros, or 25 to 30 is what they actually put down, but they're seeking about 25 to 30 million euros, which is very different from what we were seeking before. But obviously, we lower our expectations. The reasoning for this is apparently we are looking to go in for another attacker. Now, we're going to cover another story straight after this. But what's your thoughts on Nketiah news? Breaking news just happened all of a sudden.
I mean, sometimes it's the hope that kills you. So we're getting a sprinkle of hope right there. Because when we thought hope is lost, and we're like, oh, he's gonna be a third striker for another season. And Arsenal is the kind of team where if we have Nelson and Nketiah on the bench or still with the squad, 100% they're gonna get games, right? Whether it's gonna be the League Cup games, whether it's gonna be due to injuries, whatever the hell it is. So yeah, it's good news, man. I generally didn't think Marseille would come back. Because I know they're getting Coco, and I thought they're gonna finalize the Wahi deal, who, in my opinion, is a much better striker than Nketiah. So, I'm a bit
we should be going
that,
for him.
Honestly, and I said that last time. I said that
you did. You have. You've been saying this. You've been saying this since we lost to Lens.
Bro, I've been talking about him before we even lost to Lens, because I was telling people that season he had with Montpellier, I think he scored like 19 or 20 goals. The guy was incredible. He was only 19 or 20 years old at the time. But I even remember.
I'm looking at it from when obviously we've met and we spoke.
Yeah, 100%.
You've been around me. You've been speaking about it since we lost to Lens.
He's like,
bro, we should get this Wahi guy, bro. This guy should come to us. Though I'm like, bro.
No, he's good, man. He's real good. He's really good. And I remember he destroyed Saliba. He had like 2 moves in that game at the Emirates. I mean, we smashed him like 6-0, but he nutmegged Saliba once and went past him another time. And you don't see Saliba getting dribbled past like so bad, like in one game, like getting humiliated. So, and he's a good finisher as well. He's a good scorer. He's young. So I'm a bit surprised Marseille are not pushing more for him. But yeah, like if obviously Lens are making it difficult and asking for a much higher price than what they can afford, I guess Nketiah is around. And listen, hey, you know what they say about him, right? Your defense is in trouble.
Get
Nketiah
is
in
in
the
the
room.
room.
We need to be pushing that song
Hey.
to Marseille so hard, bro.
Yeah,
Make sure we
yeah,
that 27. Honestly, I would have accepted the first bid they gave us. How
yeah,
much was it?
yeah.
Like 27 or something?
It was
Because I think
27
that's
mil in total.
exactly there's a
That was
reason.
without the add-ons. That was without the add-ons. It was
Yeah, and
27
that's
mil in total.
fine. That's fine because honestly, there's a reason why no other big club is bidding more than that, especially in the Premier League. And that's one thing that I'm not blaming our fans obviously because he is a very average striker in my opinion. But when we criticize players so vocally all the time, their value in the market also gets perceived to be lower.
Mm,
So like I think we've obviously as Arsenal fans have bashed him so much, and again deservedly so because he has been crap. But
yeah,
that also means that his value has been like hit to the point where we'll not be able to get like 35, 40 million for him. Absolutely no way. And honestly, if I was a football club, like if this was my club, I would never want to buy Nketiah for like that kind of price. Even if I'm a Bournemouth or a Crystal Palace or Wolves, whoever. Like
I'd have gone in
so,
and said 15 mil, bro.
yeah, max. Honestly, if I'm Wolves or any of these kind of teams, I would say max 15, 20 million. Okay, fair enough. I'll take it because he does have Premier League experience. He has been playing with Arsenal for a number of years. He has scored against some big teams and stuff. But I would definitely not
He
be
played
paying
for
anything more than
long,
15.
bro. He's been
He
here
has
for
been playing for
long.
long.
Do you
Yeah.
know? Do you know who gave him his debut?
Arsene Wenger.
Yeah, bro. It's that
Yeah,
long,
yeah. I remember.
bro. It's that
I remember. I remember.
long. It's
I remember.
crazy that Arsene Wenger gave him his debut, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
but yeah, like listen, I'm in agreement, bro. I think this deal it is a bit of hope at the moment that this deal could go through, and I'm really hoping it does, man. Because here's a question: in your opinion, do you think once we finish this, if the deal goes through, let's say the deal goes through and
Mhm.
Nketiah is sold, do you think that the number 14 should be retired? The number 14 for Arsenal should be retired because I don't
Mm.
think we're doing it justice with these guys, or it should be vacant until a striker comes in that can actually fill
I
its
just
seat.
feel look. I don't usually care about these like sentimentalities as much, but if I have to give it a thought, I would think about it like in this way. Isn't it kind of a bit degrading to retire the number of our greatest ever striker with the last person having wearing it being Nketiah? I just feel like
That's true.
like
Yeah,
like I would rather
we should
someone
have
else
done it
comes
when
in.
Henri done it. We should have done it when
No,
Henri.
we could have retired it after Aubameyang after he won us the FA Cup.
Yeah,
We could have
yeah,
been like, okay,
yeah.
you know what? Fair enough. He wore the jersey. He's done well. He's won us a cup. He had some incredible performances with us. Scored a lot of goals. Fair enough. But yeah, like or logically, yeah, if you want to retire a number, then you do it after Henri has left because he's the greatest player ever, the greatest ever player to play in the Premier League. So I think we could have done it there. But generally, I'm not lying. I don't care about the sentimentalities as much. Like I'm not someone for like retiring jersey numbers and stuff.
No, fair enough. Fair enough. It was just a question.
You know what
I
we need to do? We need to retire the number 9 jersey because whoever the hell wears that jersey plays like absolute crap for us and
shit.
never actually
Yeah.
they never actually go to the potential that we thought they're gonna go for. Remember all the guys who wore number 9 for us in the last 10 years or
Yeah.
so? Podolski,
Jesus,
Jesus,
Lacazette.
Lacazette. There was also I think Lucas Perez, right? Lucas Perez wore number 9 if I'm not wrong,
This
or did
is
he wear number
also
17?
something that I forgot to mention. Marseille have sent in a new offer apparently for Eddie Nketiah tonight, as per Fabrizio Romano. Personal terms, obviously, they were never a problem, but they've sent in a new offer. Fabrizio Romano hasn't specified what the offer is,
Yeah,
um, but apparently they've sent in an offer. I don't know whether he's not gotten enough information at the source. I don't know, bro. But
clearly
apparently
hasn't. I
they've
wasn't
sent in a
looking.
new offer. Inshallah is accepted, and then khalas, salamu alaikum. He's out of here, bro, because I can't lie, man. I don't want to see this guy next season, man. I'm
And
done
for
with
me, it's not even a thing of oh get rid of him and get someone in his place because I don't think I think we need to get a striker. I would definitely want us to get a striker, but I
it.
wouldn't want us to get a striker to replace Nketiah. I think right now the way things are set up, right? if we have Jesus and Saka competing for the right, and obviously Jesus playing on the up front as well sometimes. If we have Havertz also to compete with Jesus up front, if we have Trossard and Martinelli on the left, I still think we need that one more attacker. And by the way, I'm not that particular about the attack that the attacker we need to bring. I'm not particular about him being a forward. If he about a striker, yeah, or forward. Sorry.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
he's a
yeah.
striker, I don't mind. If
If
he's a
he's a winger,
winger who can bring in so many goals, I don't mind that either. As
mm.
long as we have someone in our team, like right now, you give me prime Alexis Sanchez, I'll take him any day. I don't give a shit if he doesn't play
Yeah,
up
yeah,
front
yeah, yeah, yeah,
because
yeah,
that's
yeah.
a difference maker for us. Because
But the
all these guys are like, oh, get us a striker so that he can make the difference in those kind of West Ham and Fulham games and all, and Aston Villa games. Yeah, but someone like Alexis Sanchez could do the exact same thing. So if we have someone who's that good on the ball and can create something out of nothing, that will work. It doesn't have to be a forward, doesn't have to be a striker. It could be a winger as well who could have the same impact. But right now, it seems like the strike position is where we're weak, which is why people are looking at that a lot more.
yeah, no. Listen, I think right now, if you look at the situation as it appears, apparently what we're doing is we're going for a winger, and the likelihood is we're going in for Pedro Neto
Mm,
is who our main attacking target is. Now, is that enough? Will he bring enough goals? I don't think so. I think we should be going for somebody else in the attack, maybe a striker or something like that. Personally, for me, um, I think bringing Pedro Neto in, I don't think he brings the goals that we need with the injury record that he has. I don't think we can play him for as many games as we need for him to give us the goals that we need. Do you know what I mean? We
mm,
need somebody who can come in up front, possibly a Gyökeres or a Osimhen. Obviously, we're going to speak about Osimhen now. That can come in and that can score goals for us. Give us at least 15 to 20, if not 25, 20 to 25 goals a season. Get that
mm.
done so we can actually start scoring the goals. And I think we do need a difference maker as well. I think we need an Alexis Sanchez type player, bro, because that build is perfect because they
Yeah.
can help you when you're struggling in games, when you're not able to get that goal, when it seems like nobody's really firing. He's got to be that one player. Do you know what I mean? And I was hoping that be Saka. I was hoping that would be, Martinelli. I was hoping that would be Trossard. And to a certain extent, it was, but
Yeah.
not consistently enough.
Yeah, yeah.
They've
Look,
scored. They've scored. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, bro.
no, I think they did their part. I think Saka and Trossard did their part. Like,
Yeah.
I criticized Saka for like a couple of bad performances. I think he could have done better in some of them, but over the course of the season, I think he's done well. Same with Trossard. I think even same with Havertz, if we're being honest. Like, just if you look at the last 4 or 5 months, I think he's done his part. Odegaard has done his part as well with the GA and everything. I think the biggest drop we've had was with Jesus and Martinelli,
Mm.
especially if you compare him to the seasons before. Look, and with the Pedro Neto thing, bro, honestly, and I've said this before and I'll say it again. I don't think we can get a right winger of top quality name because every right winger that's quality, like your Rafinhas, like your Pedro Netos, like your Sanes, if people want to talk. I don't want Sane by the way in the team, but let's say
Neither do
Sane
I.
is one of those names. Yeah, but let's say Sane
And
is
I
one of
got
those names.
slated.
Yeah, that's mad. That's mad. It's just absolutely insane. Anyone who thinks like Sane is the same Sane from 3 4 years ago is just insane. Um, but the reality is, even if there's a top quality right winger, I don't mind them coming in and playing second fiddle to Saka or competing with Saka. I like that. I like the competition because I think it drives up performances from players and reduces complacency.
Mm.
The problem is these players will not want to join because if they know that okay, these guys have got the guy they call Star Boy, right, who's actually performing season in, season out with club and country, it's going to be very difficult, right, to take his place in the starting 11, right?
Mhm.
Unless he drops stinkers, which he doesn't do that often. Like even though he does drop stinkers, he doesn't usually do it for a long period of time, or he'll still get like a goal or an assist, right, like here and there. So I feel like that's the problem. Like when people are saying get a Rafina or get a Pedro Neto or get a Sane, you got to understand it from these players from their minds as well. I think it's easier for us to get a striker who will know that yeah, okay, Jesus and Havertz, yeah, I can definitely um, displace them from the starting 11, 100%. But when it
Mm.
comes to a right winger, let's say when it comes to an attacking midfielder where Odegaard is playing, if it comes to a 6, for example, where Rice is playing, or an 8, whatever The good thing with Rice is that he can play 6 or 8, so we can get someone and Rice can move
Mm.
the other side. Or if it comes to a centre back, for example, if he knows we've got Saliba and Gabriel, they'll always think twice and thrice because they know like I don't want to be there, I don't want to go there, and then end up having a whole season where I only start like 20 games or so, for example, versus staying at the current club I'm in or go to another club where I can start like 90% of the games I'm available for.
Yeah. You know what? I think right wing right now we're in the mud. By the way, I
Hmm.
just want to confirm that right now. In the right wing position, we are fully in the mud. Um, we've got Bukayo Saka, Jesus who doesn't play there because the manager
Yeah.
doesn't want to play him there,
And
and
he's
then we
not a
got
right winger,
Fabio, and then
anyways.
we got no, no, but he can play there.
He
And then
can,
we
but I
got,
don't want
then we
someone
got
who can play
Fabio.
there. You'd want someone who needs to, who definitely is good there, and that's his actual position.
I still think he can perform to a very good level at right wing. He can pass. He can run down the wings. He's got the positioning for it. I think he can be a very good right winger as well. So I
But
don't
you,
see why you'd say you don't want him there. It just doesn't make sense to me.
because for me, I think the way we play right now, where we have a left-footed right winger and a right-footed left winger, I think that works for the kind of football we play. First of all, both our wingers, Martinelli and Saka, or let's say Trossard and Saka, can cut inside or can cut inside or go from the outside and cross it with their weaker foots, right? Which gives us a lot of dangerous elements to our game. But
Mm,
when you have, let's say, a right-footed player playing on the right wing, it restricts what he can do because most of the time he's gonna cut inside and it's gonna be a weak cut, and you're not gonna be able to shoot. A lot of the goals we scored last season, if you remember, that Saka scored specifically, were incredible goals where he cut in and just curled it with his left foot, right? Jesus scored a goal like that as well. I remember against
yeah.
Sevilla. Trossard scored a goal like that. I can't remember against whom. Martinelli scored goals like that against Crystal Palace when he came off the bench. So I think having those kind of wingers makes it a lot dangerous and makes us more unpredictable. But if you play Jesus, I think Jesus is good as a stopgap in certain games. But if I'm talking about someone who could play there 20, 30 games in a season, I'd prefer a left-footed right winger, which is why I was talking about Pedro Netos, Rafinha, Sanes, because these guys are left-footed wingers who can cut in the left. They can give their fullbacks a lot of trouble. Jesus can dribble and all that stuff, but like he's not going to be able to shoot with his left foot, right? So
Mm,
I just don't like us being restricted like that.
yeah. Um. Yeah. Listen, I think right now, looking at the situation that we have, Fabio Vieira is playing there a lot.
Oh my god,
That's a disgrace. I
it's
just
insane.
listen. I think Fabio Vieira has some good qualities, but I don't think his position should be the right wing.
Right wing, no chance. Yeah.
He
If
just
anything, he should be
he
covered
isn't
for
built for
Odegaard.
that.
That's it.
Yeah, he isn't built for that, man. So that's just my personal opinion. In regards to the right wing position, I definitely think we can. My dream was to get two attackers. My dream was to get a striker and a right winger.
Mm,
To be backup. However,
mm.
it looks like we haven't got the money for that. Um, we're looking at the PSR, and they're looking at chasing us hard for this PSR thing to make sure we're following the rules. So, listen, fair enough to the club, but I would have wanted to get two attackers. I would have put a lot of my because let's actually have a look. How many strikers have he signed? Two. Mikel Arteta in his whole thing, he's only signed two
Jesus.
two strikers.
I don't know if Kai Havertz counts because I don't think he signed him as a striker. But if
He
you
signed
want to count
one
Kai
midfielder.
Havertz, yeah. So that's Jesus. That's damn. I think that's it. No.
He signed one striker. Yeah, one striker.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
if you want to include Kai Havertz too.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. That's two.
So so he signed two strikers, like bro, and none of them have been able to hit 20 goals a season. Like, do you know what I mean? It's we are now entering a situation where it's critical that we get a striker who gets 20 goals a season. It's critical, bro. It's that critical condition. This upcoming season is very important. Do you know what I mean? So
Mm.
we're not at a situation where we can just sit here and take the piss and think, oh, it's gonna be all right. Like, bro, no, we're in a situation where we need to win now. We need
Yeah.
to win something. So Yeah, I think just going for a right winger is not the right thing to do. I think we need to be going for a striker and a right winger. I would have even gone for another midfielder, but I think that's going a bit too far um, in regards to the purse strings. But yeah, listen, I would have gone for two right wingers, if two attackers, right winger and striker. If I was to pick, my dream would be to get Victor Gyökeres and to get uh well, actually Leon Bailey's at the top of my list, but that's just me. I would have gone for Victor Gyökeres and Leon Bailey. If not Leon Bailey, Pedro Neto, also a very good option on that right wing.
Mm.
But that's my two options. What's your thoughts on your two options? Who would you go for if you could get a striker, right winger?
I mean, I've said the strike thing before. I still stick to it from last year. I would prefer Osimhen because I think we have a striker who can dribble and get past people in tight spaces like Jesus. Trossard is similar to what he can do as well, but he's a much better finisher. But he's not an out and out striker. And you've got Kai Havertz who can give you that aerial threat and can hold up the ball a little bit here and there. But again, he's not as good in finishing either, like Trossard. Um, I feel Osimhen like encompasses most of that, right? Like he's not as good a dribbler, obviously, as Jesus or Trossard, but I think he's similar to Kai Havertz in that regards. I think he can finish. He's strong. He'd bully defenders. It would be a different profile of striker than we have in the team. Um, so yeah, that for me would have been my preferred option. For right wingers, um, the thing with Neto is that he's just too injury prone, man. And the last thing we already
Yeah.
have an issue of getting players who are like incredibly fit and then get crazy injuries. I don't want to risk it by adding someone who's already injury prone.
Hmm.
And I don't mean injury prone in the sense that oh yeah he misses like 4 or 5 games a season. I mean like this guy misses like 30% of the season, like which is insane.
Yeah.
Um, I definitely don't want Sani again. I'll reiterate that I think that's it's absolutely insane. I don't know. I'd
Do you want to
probably like
explain? Do you
keep
want to explain to the people why you don't
about
want Sane?
Sani. Bro, for Saad, the guy is not the same as he was 4 or 5 years ago. He doesn't have the same explosiveness. People, I think they keep falling for like this mistake where they see him sprint past defender, past like sprint behind the line. I mean, like which is what he did against us, to be fair, right? And he was the reason like that we suffered in the first leg. But that's what Walcott used to do all the time, right? What the Sane I really admired, or the Sane I really liked and wanted at Arsenal, was the Sane who was at Schalke or in his first few years at Man City, who had an
Mm.
explosive change of pace, who could cut in, who could go past 2, 3 players and all that kind of stuff. Like, and he doesn't have that anymore for me. He's also lazy. He doesn't track back as much, which is an absolute crucial thing about our team and the way we play.
Mhm.
Whether people like it or not, I understand a winger's job is to attack first. But the way Arsenal play and the way we have been so good defensively is not just because we have good centre backs and a good DM and a keeper who's doing his job. It's also because the wingers contribute a lot. And I just feel with Sani, he won't have that same work ethic that some of our players do. I feel he also comes with a lot of ego, which again is not something that has worked well with Arteta and the team in the past. And if we get him, as I said, it's the same thing. Like we're getting him to play him on the right wing, and he's not going to be a starter there all the time. Imagine the disruption that'll cause when he's going to
Mhm.
be unhappy sitting on the bench the whole time. And for anyone who says, "Oh, but why would you sit him on the bench? He's better than any of our left wingers," that's absolute crap. Because I take Trossard over him any day on the left wing. Because again, one is Trossard is a natural left winger. He's a right-footed left winger. That's one. And secondly, Trossard in the last 2 seasons for us has actually been really good. I wouldn't say he's been incredible, but he's been amazing. Like that, as for the we signed him for what 25, 28 million. I can't remember. For that kind of money,
No,
he's
it's
been
2022, isn't it?
oh, what? Yeah, okay, 20 something. Yeah, 22 million.
Yeah.
He's been an absolute bargain, and he's been performing in big games, small games. He's bailed us out at a couple of difficult spots. So I wouldn't start Sonny on the left at all. Like my logic still stays the same about having a right-footed player play on the left wing. So yeah, I don't think there's any space for him in our team. Sane from 5 years ago, yeah, 100%. I take that kind of Sane, but this Sane, no, I don't think so.
Mm. No,
Yeah,
fair
so
enough.
look, I'd probably pick Rafinha just because I know that Yamal is the starter now. It's obvious that
Would you not
he's
take
gonna
Leon
keep.
Bailey?
I wouldn't take Leon Bailey because I'm not a fan of Leon Bailey in the final third. Like I think
I think he's
Rafinha's
good,
a
man.
Yeah, but I think Rafinha is a better goal threat. I like wingers who also like can finish, can score, can take free kicks, can shoot, which Rafinha does in plenty. Right? He's not
Mm.
obviously I know like when you compare him to like traditional Brazilian wingers, it's such a drop off like compared to the legendary Brazilian wingers of the last 20, 30, 40 years. But I think for our team and given the experience he has in the Premier League with Leeds, because we all know that that does sometimes count and it is important, and the fact that he can shoot, he can take free kicks, he can take corners, he can score and finish in front of goal. Like, and he's played for Barcelona, so he'll be coming from a club of immense pressure, and I think he's won the league with them as well 2 seasons ago. So he's also like won something major. So yeah, for me,
Mm.
I would take Rafinha, especially given that I don't think he'll be our starting right winger. I think he'll be an option. That way, I'll feel a lot more comfortable benching Saka and starting Rafinha in certain games to rest Saka.
Okay, well, fair enough.
Oh
We'll
my god.
move. What's going on?
No, I'm just having the Olympics run on, and this lady broke the 400-meter hurdle record. But anyways, world record. But anyways, yeah, go on. Sorry.
Okay, now.
Listen, I've
Big
been
up.
on Olympics hype, bro, since Bakali
Yeah,
won yesterday, first
yeah.
gold medal for Morocco, and today we finished third in the Olympics football team after smashing Egypt 6-0. So yeah, man, like
6-0, bro. 6-0, by the way,
6-0.
guys.
Bro,
Six
honestly,
nil.
it sucks that this tournament should have been ours because
Mhm.
we, we were we were better than Spain, in my
We were
opinion.
better than Spain, yeah.
We could have won that game.
In that first half, we had them on the ropes, bro, because they couldn't
We
even
had
string passes together.
we
They couldn't even
we should
string
have scored a
passes
second or
together,
third,
bro.
man. We should have scored a second or third goal then, and
Wait.
I think we would have beaten France in the finals.
Yeah, same.
It
I
is what
think
it
so
is. It's
as
fine.
well.
It's fine.
But listen,
We're the first Arab team, by the way, to reach to get a medal in the Olympic football, by the way, which is insane. But anyways,
listen, Morocco breaking
sorry
records
guys,
left,
sorry
right, and
guys, we
center.
digressed. Sorry.
You know what I mean? Sorry, guys. You know what I mean? Take a lot of pride in our country. Do you know what I mean? So it's understandable. But big ups to everybody that is watching. Obviously, news has come out. Breaking news from. Let me just get his name. Where is it? There it is. So breaking news from journalist Chiro Trioza confirms Arsenal's withdrawal from the race to sign Victor Osimhen. Apparently, nothing has changed with the Osimhen deal, and it reappears. He reappears from time to time, but the situation is always the same. Paris offer does not exceed 70 million euros, and they have not sold Kolo Muani yet, while both Chelsea and Arsenal have withdrawn from the race. Apparently, they're not lowering the price. They're not lowering from the release clause. They promised him that he was going to leave. They're actually um, they're actually saying that they 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 gave him a promise that he'd leave. They're planning a future without him, of course. So it's very weird what happens now with Victor Osimhen. It's just very weird to see what happens now that two clubs have left the race to
Hmm.
in regards to Chelsea and Arsenal. And now PSG are never not going to go anywhere near the release clause. It's a very funny situation over there at Napoli, because they're not going to get the money for him. I don't think anybody's paying
Yeah,
100 mil. Nobody's
no
paying that.
chance.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think they really need to lower it down to maybe like 80 mil or 70 mil or something like that, and then just let us all fight amongst each other. But
Hmm.
yeah, I think they're shooting a bit too high for what they're trying to achieve with them. What's your thoughts on that one, man?
Yeah, I think they're just pricing themselves out, and it's only going to affect them obviously because he is eventually going to leave. And every season, every summer, they don't sell him. They're going to risk losing value on him. Now, I'm assuming that obviously now that they've got Conte as their new manager,
Point.
I don't. I was going to say Conte. Yeah, now that they got Conte as their new manager, I'm assuming that they're obviously going to try and challenge because he's not a manager that goes to a club, especially in this area, that goes to a club and is okay with finishing top four. He made a big fuss about it, obviously, when he was here at Tottenham. So he is going to try and challenge. So I think he might try to convince him to stay. But all the reports I read was that he's trying to get Lukaku and
Mm.
do some sort of swap deal, or just get Lukaku and maybe sell
Yeah.
Osimhen, since he's worked with Lukaku before and he's won the league with him, obviously. Um, I don't know, man. Like I think it's absolutely stupid that they're not selling him. He's my number one option to get a striker, but even though he's my number one option, I would not spend anywhere near what they're asking for. Right?
Yeah.
I think he's
Same.
an absolute beast. I think he can help us win the league if he's in form and healthy for majority of the season. But 100 million is just absolutely insane. And the reason he's my number one option is because my actual number one option is someone I know is unattainable, right? And he's
Who's your number one option?
incredibly
As
uh,
Isaac.
exactly, it's Isak, right? And I know there's no chance we're gonna be able to get Isak. So if they're saying 100 million, I'd rather go to Newcastle and say, hey, PSR, all that stuff. You guys need money or whatever it is. We'll offer you 120, 130 million. Add another 20, 30 million and go get Isak, right? Because I think they will sell him at 120, 130 million. But yeah, 100 million is just insane. So I don't know,
Yeah.
man. But look, if he stays with Napoli, he has another incredible season like how he had 2 seasons ago, and they win the league or they even challenge for it till the very end, it kind of might maintain his value. So Napoli will still be able to sell at a high price. But again, that's a lot of ifs, right? Like if Napoli compete and if Osimhen performs, and obviously if Conte clicks with the squad from season one, and I don't know, it's a lot of variables. I think it's just too much risk, in my opinion, for Napoli. But hey, it's their funeral. For me, right? I'm also surprised that why is he not pushing for a move a lot harder, especially with what happened last season,
That's
like
what's funny. He's so
the video
laid
that came
back.
out. Yeah, exactly. The video that came out, when they made fun of him and all that kind of stuff, and his own club, imagine making fun of him. I think it was after a loss or whatever the hell it was. I can't remember. I'm surprised he's not pushing for a move a lot harder, right? Maybe putting in a transfer request, making a bigger deal out of this, saying I need to leave, let me out, let me out, as if he's like in jail, but I mean, kinda is in jail. So yeah, I think if he made a bigger fuss out of it, he probably could push for a move at a lower price.
Mm.
But yeah, and I see most comment that
He's
he's
a
getting
joke.
230K a week, so I guess money is a big aspect of things as well.
Bro, but the thing is, I like, bro. If you really wanna move, like to a bigger team, and you want to move to a team where you want to get your big move, like, bro, press for it. Be like, what's going on?
Yeah,
Get the
yeah,
agents to press. Like, bro, what's going
yeah.
on? I need my move, man. I want to go out. I want to go. I want to get training. I want to do preseason. Like, bro, it's
And
very,
so what
very
if he
weird,
gets
bro.
Yeah, and so what if he gets a lower wage than 230K a week? He'll get that back later if he performs as people think he would.
Exactly, because
Um,
majority of the
and
things he's
bank the
gonna
numbers,
get, the majority of the wages he's gonna get is based
bonuses.
on add-ons and bonuses and all of
Exactly.
that stuff. Like we're not just gonna sit there and give, okay, yeah, you're gonna get 200K a week. That's it, bro. Nobody in Arsenal has that. Arsenal has uh, very very like bonus heavy wages as well. Saka
Mm,
has bonus heavy wages. So does freaking Kai Havertz.
yeah.
So yeah, listen, I definitely think this guy needs to just get his shit together. I think Napoli themselves also need to get their shit together because I don't know what the fuck's going on over there. They're doing all of this talking, all of this. Oh, we don't want it. We made him a promise, gentleman's agreement. Gentleman's agreement is bullshit. So yeah. Jibril saying it's verified source that Zubimendi won't go to Liverpool. We're gonna save that. We're gonna save that because we're speaking later on in the show. We're speaking about that later on in the show, man. But send me that, Jibril. On my Twitter, Saad underscore E215. Let me just type that in for you. Saad underscore E215. Send that to me. Oh shit, the bed. I've just done that wrong. Ignore that first one. Saad underscore E215. Send that to me on Twitter. Send that to me on Twitter. Let me know what the source is. Send me the tweet, whatever you're looking at, so I can have a look at it, so I know it's say. Do you know what I mean? Or it's not just bullshit. But anyway, moving on to the final bit of news in regards to transfers for Arsenal before we speak about the game and we speak about Martin Zubimendi. Final bit of news, obviously, as stated. Well, I could just go over here and pull up Glenn's comment. Mikel Merino's absence from the La Real
Squad today.
Sociedad squad today could be an indication of an immediate departure to the squad. The midfield transfer is closer than ever to Arsenal. Now, that's what was said earlier. Um, then they said Mikel Merino's close to final departure. Arsenal intend to make longer-awaited attack in the coming days, despite some insisting on denying this. Those in Sociedad know firsthand that Arsenal, with whom they have a good relationship, will call for a meeting to negotiate and reach an agreement signing Merino. Arsenal do not want to wait any longer, and in the next few days will make official and firm. Will make official a firm offer. Real Sociedad will not demand the 65 million euro release clause, and will facilitate the agreement. Now, in recent, I think in recent ones, let me just double check. I'm not sure if we got the if we got another here we go, but if we got any updates on this. If my okay, apparently my internet wants to start messing up now. So
I
yeah.
can see you and hear you fine.
No, on my phone. I don't know what's going
Uh,
on. I don't know whether I have to freaking close the app. Is what's going on with Twitter, man? What is going on? Here we go. Is it gonna work now? There we go. It works now. Have we had anything? By the way, we got a here we go for David De Gea. He's joined Fiorentina.
oh,
So we
after
got
more than a
here.
year.
Yeah, it's very weird. But anyway, big up to David De Gea. Fraud. Right. What do we have here? What do we have here? What do we have here? Because I think I saw something in regards to Mikel Merino. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Sorry, guys. Bear with us just a second, as I'm just trying to get the tweet that I saw. Have a look. Have a look. Let me have a look.
But I did see Fabrizio's tweet about this. Like
Where
he
is
said,
that?
Martin Zubimendi has been called up for Real Sociedad next game, while Liverpool try to convince him. And Mikel Merino has not been called up as Arsenal talks are still ongoing, advanced but
Well,
with deal structure, payment
yeah.
terms to clarify.
Apparently, what they're saying is Arsenal expected to come to close the deal for Mikel Merino in the coming days. The
Hmm.
player is waiting for the move of his life. Marino's camp are hoping Real Sociedad negotiate well and they do not exceed the 25 million euro valuation for the midfielder, which, if we convert that to pounds, it's about 21 mil. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I think that's a very good price for Marino. A very
Incredible.
good price for what he offers us as well. I know he's not the flashy name. I know everybody's like, oh, it's not the name. Look at that. Why are we getting the secondary player when everybody's looking at Zubimendi? But bro, I think Mikel Merino actually suits us a bit better for what we need. I think he's a
Yeah.
left-footed player, plays on the left side of the midfield, could become our Xhaka replacement, which we had been waiting for like a season now. Last season we tried to replace him with Havertz. That went horribly wrong. Now we're actually getting the good replacement. So I'm happy with this move for Mikel Merino. I think he'll come in. I think he really could do a good job next to Rice as well. I think he's very good on the ball technically and has a good pass on him, can help defensively as well. And listen, he's also a very tall player as well. So he can help with the headers when he's in the box. Do you know what I mean? When we're
Mhm.
crossing the ball in. So Listen, I think he's a good midfielder, can come in, can do a job for us, and push us hopefully to that next level. And I think he can improve as well with the coaching of Mikel Arteta and the rest of the coaching staff. So I can see this. I think he's around 27, 28, if I'm
He's
not
28
mistaken.
years old.
28, yeah. So he's 28 years old. So he's still got like 2 years in his peak form. And then as a midfielder, normally you still have like years on you. Do you know what I mean? Especially for a midfielder
Yeah.
of his, like the one that's not running around and just doing a madness like Kante. He's more of the elegant, uh, technical players on the ball and able to get tackles in. Do you know what I mean? Defensive work, going forward, passing the ball forward, through balls, diagonal balls, that kind of stuff. So I think he could have a good 4 to 5 years career at Arsenal, 100%. But I think it's a good price. What are your thoughts on the Mikel Merino thing before we move on?
Yeah, man. I think it's a perfect move for us. I don't know if I'd say perfect, but it's a fantastic move for us.
Yeah,
We add definitely a lot of depth to the midfield. I say depth, even though I think he'll start for us, but I like the fact that we now have. I mean, if Thomas Partey is gonna stay, it looks like he might stay. Um, we basically will be having Thomas Partey, Moreno, Jorginho, Odegaard, Rice, and obviously Vieira, who is Adam there. But yeah, like that's a very good midfield, right? And we've seen what he can do. Like he's good in the box. He can score headers. He's a very good passer. Loves to give a lot of through balls. I think there was a stat as well where he was leading like in the most interceptions or something that I can't remember across the top five teams in top five leagues in Europe, which is pretty incredible. Like he adds that physical presence which we need in our team. Because Rice gave us a lot of that last season, and Thomas Partey as well when he came towards the end. But we do lack it overall in midfield. And I know Havertz obviously is like the tall, big, not big, sorry, but like he's obviously tall, but I still feel like he's a lanky striker. Um, and he doesn't give us that kind of strength when we play in the midfield, when he plays in the midfield. And we all know he's not a midfielder, anyways. I don't know who ever thought of that experiment from Arteta's camp. Probably Arteta himself, but it's just ridiculous to play Kai Havertz in the mid. And before people go like, "Oh yeah, but he scored a goal against Leverkusen and have had 2 assists," like I don't give a shit. Like when it comes to the actual season starting in the Premier League and Champions League, I don't think he'll perform that well. So it's a fantastic move for us, and I do prefer. I like Zubimendi. I wanted Zubimendi for a long time. I think the one benefit of getting Moreno over Zubimendi though is the experience. Not that Zubimendi isn't experienced, but I mean 25 versus 28. Obviously, you can tell Moreno has more experience. And I think we are at a stage right now with our squad where we already have a lot of youngsters, talented youngsters, but they're still youngsters and they're still lacking some experience here and there, like your Sakas and Martinellis and even Saliba, as good as he is, he's still only 22 or 23, right? So, which is very young for a centre back. So I like us getting someone with that kind of experience. And 28 is not even old or anything. Like I think he's right now at his peak, and he probably can keep his peak for another 4 to 5 years. So yeah, it's good. It's a very good move for us. Um, I do find it a bit. I was always curious about whether Sociedad will let Merino and Zubimendi both leave. It did seem like kind of a weird move for them, like to end up doing that. But I don't. This, and I still believe that they won't let both go. I think it's highly unlikely that they'll let both go. So if we get Merino, I don't think Liverpool will get Zubimendi. But if Zubimendi does end up leaving to Liverpool, I feel like that'll jeopardize our move for a Moreno. I'm not saying they cannot get rid of both. Of course they can, but I don't know. I just don't see them getting rid of both midfielders. And also, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, in the chat, but I think didn't Real Sociedad finish in the top four last season? La Liga table. I need to see this to confirm. I feel like someone might have already responded in the chat while I'm typing. No, nobody did. Oh no, they didn't. Damn, they finished sixth. Okay, and they missed it out. I mean, yeah, but they're still playing Europa League, right? So, I mean, for them, it's a pretty big competition, right? So, um, I think keeping one of the two is definitely going to be crucial if they want to try and win it. But yeah, I don't think they'll let go of both. Um, I think while Saad is gone, we can probably talk about the Zubimendi thing. I've been seeing a lot of tweets from Liverpool fans, like on my timeline today, about watch out for the space. Um, Zubimendi is going to join, and when someone tweeted, like, I have big respect for the guy, he's a nice guy, but I think he tweeted something like, because I'm assuming, I remember other teams were trying to approach Zubimendi and get him, and he tweeted something like, "When Liverpool knock, it's a different kind of knock," and again, it's this Twitter waffle, obviously, because it's not like they have not got rejected before many times. But damn, if he doesn't end up going after all the stuff they've been tweeting the last few
Yeah,
days, it'll be hilarious,
that's
bro.
gonna be
It'll be
funny.
hilarious.
Ahwa on
Honestly,
Friday, Ahwa on Sunday is gonna be funny if that happens.
it'll be
He
mad.
doesn't go.
And I think he's good for them. By the way, I think he's actually he would be a perfect fit. I don't know if he's like a solid like ball winning DM or something like that, but I think he will
He's
complement their
not.
midfield really well.
His tackling is not his strength. His
Yeah, I
strength
think
isn't
his
his tackling, but his ability on the ball, his
on the ball
passing.
is incredible. Exactly.
You know what I mean? He's. If I was to compare him to a mold of player, I'd say Sergio Busquets, that register type of player, in the midfield.
Yeah, that
That's the
same
kind of role
style.
that
Yeah,
That's the kind of style that I'd compare him to. Obviously,
yeah,
not at the level of Sergio Busquets. People got that confused.
yeah. I do think
Um,
he's quicker than Busquets though, like in his movements and stuff.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but obviously
But
he's nowhere near the
you
Busquets
get
quality.
you get that nowadays. You get the
Yeah,
movement is very fast nowadays because of you know Busquets was from the older generation where it was still a bit
yeah,
slower. You know what I mean? The game was played at a slower pace, but now it's all fast, 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 fast. So,
yeah.
but listen, I think it's a good move for Liverpool if they get it over the line. If they're able to get over the line, I think it's a good move for them. However, if they don't, and the amount of shit that certain Liverpool fans have been speaking, it's conversations are going to need to be had. Do you know what I mean about if he is going to come or not? So listen, at the moment, it's still ongoing. Apparently, there is a journalist that said he's staying. He wants to stay. He doesn't want to leave now. But we got to wait to see if any credible journalists come out and actually say it. Ones that we know, like i.e. the David Ornsteins, i.e. the Paul Joyces,
Fabricius.
Fabrizio Romano's. I think Paul Joyce is the one. You wanna see that if he says it, then it's definitely happening because he's apparently like the messiah over there. Do you know what I mean? But um, Jabril has actually sent me the sources. Let me just have a quick look. Let me have a quick look. Let me see this. Okay. Give me just a second. Martin Zubimendi is still a wash in doubt. A wash. I don't even know if that's the right word. It's Google Translate from Spanish. It's still in doubt. The midfielder is full of doubts, which leaves a small chance of hope for hope, and he has not yet given the final yes to Liverpool. To the Liverpool team that is impatiently awaiting his decision. So at the moment, it's still not a yes. It's still, do you know what I mean? He's still waiting, and that's coming from Spanish journalist Mikel who has obviously broken the news for Mikel Merino as well today. So yeah, listen, it's definitely a tough situation for them, but we'll see. As they said, listen, we'll watch this space and see what happens. But listen, if they get it through over the line, it's a very good move for them. If they don't, then conversations need to be had. But yeah, that's pretty much it, to be honest. From me, have you got anything to say about him?
No, I mean I've already said what I said. I think it'd be a
Yeah,
very good move if they get him. Him, McAllister, and Soboslai. That's a good midfield. I still think that they'll need like that Caicedo move. If they got him last year, would have been incredible for them.
legendary.
So yeah, because they would have had like a proper DM, a proper like center mid, and all that. But I guess it wasn't meant to be. And I think even Caicedo should probably be regretting that move now, given that he's gone to Chelsea.
Mm.
So yeah, I think it would have been a good move for them. They're already going to be having challenges though, obviously with the new manager and Arne Slot coming in. I don't know how he's gonna adapt, but yeah, I think Zubimendi would definitely take their midfield. I wouldn't say take their midfield to our next level. Maybe I'm going a bit too far, but I think he definitely
He's a
bolsters their
level
midfield
raiser.
even
He's a
more.
level raiser, 100%.
That's the thing. That's the thing. I don't think he's a level raiser, but I
I
think
think he
he
is.
maintains. I think he maintains their quality from last season, especially given that they probably are expected to drop down level given that Klopp is gone. But I think he somehow like maintains it to where it was last season. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, if they don't end up getting him, look, it's still time before the end of the transfer window. So even if they don't get him, you never know who will pop up in the end, and they could go for someone even better. You never know.
Mm.
If I was Liverpool, I would focus a lot more on getting a top quality DM because right now the only person they have who can play that role um, to a decent level, I'll say, is Endo, right? And even Endo is not someone I would want to rely on if I'm trying to challenge for the title. I'm not saying they are thinking of challenging next season, but that should be an aspiration, like at the beginning at least.
Yeah, I think they should be. I think they've got a team good enough to at least challenge,
Yeah,
um, and challenge for
at
the
least till
title. Do
Feb
you know
or
what I mean?
March.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah. Listen, moving on. Let's have a quick 10-minute talk about the game yesterday. Give
Mhm.
us your thoughts on it, man. Give us your thoughts on the game yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, my thoughts will be very quick because I didn't watch it. I just watched the highlights.
There you are, you
Uh,
fraud.
Yeah, I didn't watch the game. I watched the highlights. I watched the goals. I was a bit shocked, to be honest, with some of the things I saw. That second goal, oh my god, that pressing was absolutely incredible. Honestly, like the first of all, let me just start. Let me preface this. I should have started with this first. The fact that we just played the Invincibles of Germany, and I know it's a preseason friendly. I get it, but I mean they started a very strong lineup, just like us, right? And we obliterated them, especially in the first half. Like it just gives me a lot of confidence starting the season. Um, I already said where I predicted Arsenal will. What I already said earlier, what I predict Arsenal will do for this coming season, and this only reassures that, or reassures my thoughts about that.
Mm.
That second goal was absolutely incredible. The way Trossard pressed and won the ball, and just that movement and the pass from Odegaard, the squaring of the ball to Jesus and Kai Havertz as well. Now, my first instinct is to criticize him and say, the guy probably had no confidence to shoot himself, so he passed it. But if I'm being fair and unbiased, I think it was a very good pass. And he obviously did the right thing. And the way Trossard just dummied the living hell out of that defender and finished it was just absolutely incredible. But what impressed me the most out
And
of
the
the
keeper.
highlights and the keeper, yeah. But what impressed me the most out of the highlights I watched was Jesus scoring that goal,
Yeah.
because we don't have a lot of cases where he takes on someone and just takes the risk by taking that shot. I know he's done that last season in preseason against was it against the American team? I can't remember. He scored that chip from outside the box.
MLS All
But
Stars.
I think it was the MLS All Stars, maybe if I'm not wrong. But I want to see him do a lot of that in the Premier League. So for me,
Hmm.
I'm glad that he's done that. By the way, I'll say this: I haven't watched a single preseason game so far of Hostels, not one, right? Because the first ones that were played were all at 4 in the morning for me over here, and I have work. I'm like, man, there's no way I'm getting up 4 in the morning to watch this game. And this one was at a good time, but I think I was out, so I couldn't watch it at the time. But what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing from highlights is that Jesus is like playing at a
Better.
high level.
Yeah.
He's playing a lot better than what he did last season, and
He
he's
looks.
basically like,
Sorry,
yeah,
I just. He looks physically. He looks better, which is a
mm,
massive plus for us because obviously with his whole injury situation, you'd want to see him hopefully looking a bit better, looking a bit more healthier, looking like somebody who can go a whole season without getting injured. Do you know what I mean? That's what we want. A
yeah,
Jesus who doesn't get injured, who can be playing at the top level, who has that speed again that he used to have. And that's what you want from him. Do you know what I mean? He's supposed to be entering his prime.
yeah.
So we are
By the way,
supposed to be
that's
getting the
bad
best
news
of
for
him.
us because that means we're not getting a striker. If he's been that good in preseason, which clearly he has been, it probably just reduces the chance of us getting a striker. But as again, I've already made it clear that it's only preseason. I get it, which is why I only spoke about the first half. I didn't speak about the second half.
Mhm.
But for Letty, who's saying, "Oh, you played their B side, calm down." I'm just looking
It
at their
wasn't.
lineup,
It wasn't their
right?
B side.
Kosono is a starter. Ta, and I know this because I've watched like at least 20 games of theirs last season. Ta is a starter. Tapsoba is a starter. Frimpong is a starter. Chaka is a starter. Garcia is new anyways and probably will be a starter this season, right? They got him, I think, from Girona, if I'm not wrong, right? Um, Wirtz is a starter, and Amin Adli, Moroccan player, is a starter as well, right? For majority
Started
of the games
so
last
many
season.
games, so many
So many
games.
games.
That's the reason why he went to the Afcon as well.
Four,
By the way,
five,
guys.
6, 7. That's 8 starters out of the 11, right? 8. And even some of the other guys, I don't think they're necessarily like, I don't, Terrier, I don't know like how many games he's played last season. I'll need to check. Because I don't remember him like starting in any of the games I watched last season. So I'm assuming he's not a starter. And then there's Hincape, who I've seen last season. I think he scored as well towards the end of the season when they maintained their invincible record. But again, he's not a starter. But 8 of the guys I just mentioned are starters in their team. And obviously, all our guys are not starters either. Like Havertz is never going to start in the mid for us when everyone is available. We didn't start Saka. We didn't start Rice. Zinchenko started left back for us. He's not going to be playing for us as left back when we have Calafiori and Timber fit and available. Partey didn't start. He would be ahead of Jorginho. So we didn't start our main team either. So, but both of us started very, very good lineups. And the fact that we dominated them that way and obliterated them, actually, not just dominated,
Mhm.
it just shows very, very good signs. And remember, guys, like 2 seasons ago when we had an incredible preseason, we smashed Chelsea 4-0, smashed Sevilla 6-0, and we were like destroying every team we were playing against. We carried that form to the Premier League. And
Mhm.
we won our first 5 games in a row, like, and then we lost to United, and then we continued winning after that as well. So I think the preseason does matter when your performances are really good, and you're playing with your main starting lineup, or at least a very strong lineup. So yeah, man,
Yeah.
it was a very, very good game.
Yeah, I completely agree, man. Completely agree with a lot of you're saying, and that is important as well. Hopefully, we can go into the weekend as well. We're playing. We'll just do a quick preview of that as well. But listen, I was happy with the performance. I was happy with us looking good. Ethan even looked good when he came on, like he has been all preseason. Same thing with Miles Lewis Skelly. Also looks good. I'm hoping that they get some minutes this season. And actually gets not just like minutes here and there. I'm talking about like some very good minutes. I'm talking like at least 1,000 minutes, man. Just give them 1,000 minutes, bro. I'm sure you can get them in after like 60 minutes, 70 minutes. Do you know what I mean? They can play like 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there, 30 minutes here. Do you know what I mean? You can do that, bro, in a season. You can give them 90 minutes in a game that doesn't mean anything. You can give them 90 minutes in a cup game. But in regards to the performance overall, it just looked dominant. They didn't look like the Bayer Leverkusen of last season, and I think that's basically more towards that they've had a shorter preseason to us. They haven't played as many games as us, so maybe they're not up to scratch the way we are because we've played more games than them. But in regards to the games on the weekend, though, going to be interesting. We're playing Leon in the Emirates
Mm.
Cup. So hopefully we can get the Emirates Cup and parade that around for a bit. And because we don't have the opportunity to win our
It's a trophy.
we don't have our opportunity to win the famous community shield. Do you know what I mean? We don't have that opportunity this season, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so we have to leave that one to either Man United or Man City, and that is another game that is happening on the weekend. Manchester United versus Man City
Which
for
City would
the
win easy?
yeah. So what are you
By the
what
way, did you see what Aaron said about? Did you see Fabrizio's tweet?
Yeah. I saw it. It's basically the same stuff, bro. He's basically just saying the
Mm.
same stuff. He said Arsenal remaining active talks to complete Mikel Merino deal. More steps to follow. Mikel Merino has agreed personal terms with Arsenal. Clubs keep working on a deal structure, payment terms, fee over to over 25 million pounds, 25 million euros.
Mm.
Atletico and Barca already informed of Marino's desire to join Arsenal. So it's basically stuff that we already knew. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
nothing brand new for me, to be honest. But on the weekend, who do you think's gonna win for the two games? Obviously,
I think
well,
Man
yeah.
City. I think Man City will win. Not. I mean, obviously, one is because they are a much better team. They've also had a very good preseason. I know they struggled in their first game, I think. maybe their first two games, but they've recovered well after that. Yeah, I think Man City will beat United. I don't even know if United have all their main guys available. Um, and our game in Lyon, yeah, I think we'll definitely win. I don't remember the last time we lost the Emirates FA Cup, the Emirates Cup game. I generally can't remember. So
Yeah.
it's at home. Lyon are not the best team. We have Saka and Declan Rice back, so they probably will both start. Um, I don't know what's going on with Calafiori and Timber because I heard both of them are nursing injuries. I just hope nothing is serious. I would like to see one of them start that game as left back instead of Zinchenko. I know he scored against Leverkusen and apparently had a good game, but he's definitely not the left back we want to have for this coming season. So yeah, I see Arsenal and City getting. I'll probably say comfortable win for Arsenal and maybe like a one goal win for Man City
Mm.
or a win by one goal.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a comfortable win for Man City. No, I'm going to think it's going to be a comfortable win for Arsenal, and I actually think Man United could pip Man City to the Community Shield.
Hmm.
Actually, the
The FA
reason
Cup,
why I
huh?
say that, yeah, the reason why I say that is because I just think Man City are not very good in the preseason terms. They rarely get many wins in the preseason, but then they turn it on as soon as the league starts. Do you know what I mean? As soon as the
Hmm.
league starts, they go up levels. So yeah, I don't think um they're gonna be on job as much as you would hope they are. Um and yeah, I think they could pit Man City to the Community Shield, Man United. When they I think we're going to see Xerxes. Possibly we could see him for the first time in that game, so that could help out as well. He could help out with improving the wingers, getting them to score a few goals as well, because he is like a Jesus type of player. He is the link up play, gets more out of his wingers and stuff like that. So yeah, listen, I think it could be one of those ones. Um, but yeah, listen, anything else you want to discuss before we go?
No, nothing. I agree with you. I know City don't necessarily play that well in preseason. I mean, good news for us is that if they do win the Community Shield, I mean, the last 4 or 5 teams to win the league have all lost the Shield. So, hey, maybe that's good news for us if they end up winning the Shield. It'll be like a jinx. Although I think they are the last team to win the Shield and win the league, so it would be so like City
Yeah,
to freaking like break the jinx themselves. But I generally think we're gonna. We'll talk about it probably in more detail in the next session. But I generally think we're gonna win the league this coming season.
mm,
Obviously, we need to get Moreno, and I still need to see what City are gonna do in the market. Um, but I don't see any major player they could sign that would change that. So
yeah,
hopefully we can get this Moreno deal through. And I'm happy seeing Fabrizio's tweet because it means that negotiations have not died, which is something that is possible,
mm.
right? And it also mentions that he does prefer us, and we are his number one choice over Barcelona and whoever else is there. So
Atletico
it's
Madrid.
an Atletico. Oh, that too, both Spanish teams. So that tells you a lot. So
Hmm.
I think that's also very reassuring.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%, and obviously we'll keep our eyes open for that one and keep on following that one. But listen, thank you very much, everybody who has tuned in. Thank you very much for everybody who has watched today. Make sure you're smashing the like button. Make sure you are subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. Um, Ash's description to his channel will Ash's description to his channel. Ash's channel will be in the description. And we will see you guys on the next one. I am gonna send you guys over. I am gonna send you guys over.
Yeah, who are we gonna raid?
We're raiding my boy Paolo for all the boxing fans. They're talking about boxing. So guys, go over there and just type this in. Just spam it for me, please. Because I really want to. I always tell him I'm gonna get a raid over. So I want you guys to just spam Saad raid. The spam Saad raid when you get in there, just so he knows that we've raided him. And I appreciate you guys for doing that for me. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thank you very much for everybody who's tuned in. Good luck and come on, you gooners. Let's get out of here. Peace.